SWOT Analysis, Strategic Tool for Business Success. SWOT analysis is a fundamental strategic tool used across industries to assess internal capabilities and external conditions. Standing for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, this framework supports organizations in making informed decisions grounded in reality. It helps teams identify what they do best, where they face challenges, which trends they can exploit, and which risks need to be mitigated. For engineers and scientists, SWOT brings structure to complex environments, enabling data-driven evaluations of technical operations, product strategies, or even career planning. This presentation offers a comprehensive overview of SWOT analysis as a powerful decision-making tool. We'll explore its key components, practical methods for execution, strategic applications in real-world scenarios, and how to avoid common mistakes. Whether you're developing a product, optimizing a system, or planning your next move, SWOT analysis offers a clear lens through which you can understand your environment and act strategically. Course Overview. This course covers everything you need to know about SWOT analysis, from foundational concepts to practical applications. First, we'll define what SWOT analysis is and clarify its purpose and benefits. Next, we'll dive into each key element, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, discussing how to recognize and analyze them in context. We'll then explore how to conduct a SWOT analysis step by step, using a case study to illustrate real-world application. Along the way, we'll cover how to convert SWOT insights into strategies that create competitive advantage. We'll also touch on where SWOT fits in compared to other strategic frameworks like PESTLE and Porter's 5 Forces. Finally, we'll examine common pitfalls to avoid, share best practices, and end with a summary of how SWOT can serve as a strategic compass for long-term success. Whether you're evaluating a product roadmap or a research strategy, this course will make SWOT a practical tool in your decision-making toolkit. Introduction to SWOT Analysis. SWOT analysis stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. It is a deceptively simple yet profoundly effective framework that supports strategic thinking and structured problem solving. At its core, SWOT allows individuals, teams, and organizations to step back and assess their position relative to internal capabilities and external conditions. Strengths and weaknesses are internal attributes, factors within your control, like technical expertise or resource limitations. Opportunities and threats represent external forces, such as market trends or regulatory changes. For science and engineering graduates entering fast-paced industries, the ability to break down a challenge or initiative through a SWOT lens enhances both clarity and objectivity. Whether applied to a product launch, a technical process, or a personal career decision, SWOT helps identify what's working, what needs attention, where to focus efforts, and how to anticipate or respond to external shifts. It is a versatile tool you can use in labs, business meetings, or strategic planning sessions. What is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is a structured matrix used to evaluate both internal and external factors affecting an organization, project, or individual. It begins by categorizing internal factors into strengths and weaknesses. These are elements you control. Strengths might include proprietary technology, process efficiency, or skilled personnel. Weaknesses may involve outdated tools, skill gaps, or resource limitations. The external dimension is divided into opportunities and threats. Opportunities could include new market trends or technological shifts that align with your goals, while threats may involve competitive pressure, supply chain vulnerabilities, or regulatory hurdles. Engineers and scientists can use this dual lens matrix to capture a complete picture of the environment they're working in. For example, analyzing a new material for commercial production requires not just understanding its technical merits, but also market conditions, patent landscape, and production scalability. SWOT organizes this complexity into a clear visual grid, offering a strategic snapshot for better decision-making. Why conduct a SWOT analysis? Conducting a SWOT analysis helps you understand your current position by offering a clear, structured view of internal capabilities and external conditions. It allows teams to identify their competitive advantages, such as unique processes, efficient workflows, or proprietary tools, and highlight potential risks before they escalate into bigger problems. For example, spotting a vulnerability in your supply chain early can prevent production delays. SWOT also aligns your available resources, time, budget, people, with high-impact opportunities, increasing the return on effort. Most importantly, it promotes objective, data-informed decision-making. In technical fields, where complexity and uncertainty are high, SWOT brings clarity to fragmented insights. By evaluating both what's under your control and what's happening outside, you can proactively steer projects and strategies toward success. Whether you're analyzing a product rollout, a process improvement, or your own career path, SWOT helps bring strategic rigor to decisions that might otherwise rely on intuition alone. Breaking down. SWOT. Strengths. Strengths are internal, positive attributes that give you or your organization an advantage. These are things within your control that contribute to success. Examples include a strong brand reputation, which builds trust and customer loyalty, a skilled workforce, which enhances innovation and productivity, proprietary technology, which offers differentiation and protects market share, and a loyal customer base, which ensures steady revenue and valuable feedback. As a science or engineering graduate, your own strengths might include advanced technical training, problem-solving skills, or proficiency with specialized tools. The key question to ask is, what do you do better than anyone else? Recognizing strengths isn't just about listing accomplishments, it's about understanding what sets you apart and how those capabilities can be leveraged in new projects, job roles, or competitive scenarios. In team settings, aligning individual and organizational strengths leads to better collaboration and strategic momentum. Breaking down. SWOT. Weaknesses. Weaknesses are internal, negative factors, areas that could hinder performance or limit growth if left unaddressed. These might include high employee turnover, which disrupts continuity and drains institutional knowledge, outdated infrastructure, which slows efficiency, limited R&D capabilities, which stifle innovation, a poor online presence, which affects visibility and customer reach, or budget constraints that limit scaling or upgrades. In your own professional journey, a weakness might be lack of experience with a specific tool, soft skills gaps, or unfamiliarity with a certain market. Identifying weaknesses isn't about assigning blame, it's about making informed decisions on what to improve. Ask yourself, where are you vulnerable? For teams and organizations, acknowledging weaknesses early allows you to prioritize solutions, invest in development, or build partnerships that offset the shortfalls. In engineering and science environments where precision and progress matter, addressing weaknesses is essential to long-term effectiveness and resilience. Breaking down. SWOT. Opportunities. Opportunities are external, positive factors that can be leveraged for growth, innovation, or advantage. These might include emerging markets that open new revenue streams, new customer segments that align with your existing capabilities, deregulation that reduces barriers to entry, technological breakthroughs that enable faster, better, or cheaper processes, and competitor exits that leave gaps in the market. For an engineer or scientist, opportunities may include a shift in industry demand for sustainable materials, increased funding for clean tech, or access to open-source design tools. The key question is, what external trends can you benefit from? Opportunities are often time-sensitive, so recognizing them quickly is vital. They allow you to align your strengths with favorable external conditions and take proactive steps before competitors catch up. A strong SWOT analysis helps you prioritize which opportunities are worth pursuing and what internal capabilities are needed to capture them effectively. Breaking down. SWOT. Threats. Threats are external, negative factors that could hinder performance or derail objectives. Unlike weaknesses, threats are typically beyond your control. Common examples include new competitors entering your market, regulatory changes that add complexity, supply chain disruptions that delay production, economic downturns that reduce demand, or negative media coverage that damages reputation. These forces can impact both startups and established firms, and individuals too. For science and engineering professionals, threats might involve disruptive technologies that make current skills obsolete, shrinking budgets for research, or geopolitical shifts that affect global supply chains. The critical question to ask is, what external forces could harm you? Recognizing threats is essential for strategic planning. It allows you to prepare contingency plans, invest in risk mitigation, and stay adaptive in the face of uncertainty. Threats should be tracked continuously so that strategic responses can be formulated before the risk becomes reality. The SWOT matrix explained. The SWOT matrix is a 4-quadrant chart that visually organizes strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in relation to a business scenario, project, or strategic goal. On the vertical axis are internal factors, strengths and weaknesses, and on the horizontal axis are external factors, opportunities and threats. For example, strengths might include skilled workforce and proprietary technology, while weaknesses might feature outdated infrastructure or budget limits. On the external side, opportunities might involve market deregulation or technological advances, whereas threats could include regulatory shifts or new competition. The purpose of this matrix is to bring all these elements into a single, integrated view. For technical teams, this structure is especially valuable. It connects what you control internally with what's happening externally, enabling better strategic alignment. It also helps uncover linkages. For example, how a strength might be used to seize an opportunity or offset a threat. The matrix transforms raw observations into a roadmap for action. Step by step, how to conduct a SWOT analysis. Conducting a SWOT analysis involves 5 key steps to ensure accuracy and relevance. Step 1 is defining the objective. You must clearly identify what you're analyzing, whether it's a business unit, a new product, a market expansion, or a strategic decision. Without a focused goal, the analysis risks becoming too broad. Step 2 is gathering input. This means collecting data from internal sources, industry research, customer feedback, and competitor intelligence. Diverse perspectives help build a balanced view. Step 3 is populating the matrix. Here, you list findings under each category: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Be specific and actionable. Step 4 is analyzing interconnections. This is where real insight happens. Link internal strengths to external opportunities or understand how weaknesses expose you to threats. Finally, Step 5 is developing strategic actions. Use the insights to create targeted strategies that are aligned with your goals. This methodical approach makes SWOT a practical decision-making tool in engineering and business settings alike. Turning SWOT into strategy. SWOT analysis is not just about listing factors. It's about turning insights into strategy. There are 4 main strategy types that emerge from SWOT: SO, WO, ST, and WT. SO strategies, or strength opportunity strategies, are offensive moves that use internal strengths to capitalize on external opportunities. For example, a company with strong R&D may launch a new product to meet rising demand. WO strategies, or weakness opportunity strategies, aim to improve internal limitations to seize external opportunities, like investing in employee training to serve a new market. ST strategies, or strength-threat combinations, are defensive approaches where strengths are used to protect against external threats, such as using a strong supply chain to buffer against global disruptions. Finally, WT strategies involve risk mitigation, reducing both internal weaknesses and exposure to external threats. Each of these strategy types creates a path forward. The value of SWOT lies in its ability to help you make purposeful, prioritized, and data-informed decisions. Case study: semiconductor equipment manufacturer. Let's explore a real-world example. A semiconductor equipment manufacturer specializing in plasma-enhanced atomic layer deposition, or PEELD, conducted a SWOT analysis to evaluate its position in the atomic layer deposition market. Internally, their strengths included deep technical expertise in PEELD, strong R&D capabilities, and long-standing relationships with key customers. However, weaknesses were also identified: limited service presence in Asia and high dependency on a few large clients. On the external side, opportunities were abundant: surging demand for 3D NAND and advanced logic nodes, regional expansion in Asia, and government incentives for reshoring manufacturing. But threats were also present: price competition from low-cost rivals and supply chain disruptions for critical components. By organizing these factors, the company gained a clear understanding of where it stood. This kind of structured evaluation is essential in high-tech fields where change is constant and strategic clarity is critical for sustaining competitive advantage. Strategic response. Case example. Based on the SWOT analysis, the semiconductor equipment manufacturer developed a series of targeted strategies. To address the threat of price pressure from low-cost competitors, they leveraged their R&D strength to create lower-cost equipment variants tailored for emerging markets. This SO strategy combined a core strength with a clear opportunity. To overcome the weakness of limited service presence in Asia, they expanded their service teams across key locations, improving customer support and responsiveness. This is a classic WO strategy, turning a weakness into a growth enabler. Finally, to reduce reliance on a small group of clients, they pursued partnerships to diversify their customer base. This WT strategy helped mitigate risk and ensure more stable revenue. The key takeaway is that effective SWOT analysis leads to measurable action. It bridges insight and execution by aligning internal capabilities with external conditions and then applying strategic logic to prioritize responses that deliver value. Applications of SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis has wide-ranging applications across industries and functions. In strategic planning, it identifies core focus areas and clarifies where to allocate resources for maximum impact. For market entry assessments, it evaluates both internal readiness and external challenges, ensuring teams don't enter unprepared. During product launches, SWOT helps determine whether a product fits market needs and whether the team can deliver at scale. It is also valuable in mergers and acquisitions, where it helps assess synergy opportunities and integration risks. Beyond organizations, SWOT can even be applied to personal career development. For science and engineering professionals, analyzing personal skills, identifying gaps, and spotting external trends, such as growth in quantum computing or green energy, can shape your career strategy. Whether the application is corporate or individual, SWOT provides structure, objectivity, and insight. It's a tool that turns complexity into clarity and insight into action. SWOT versus other frameworks. While SWOT is a versatile and foundational tool, it's often more effective when combined with other strategic analysis frameworks. Each framework serves a different purpose. SWOT focuses on analyzing both internal and external factors relevant to an organization or project. In contrast, PESTLE examines macro-environmental forces, political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental, that shape broader industry trends. Porter's 5 Forces analyzes the intensity of competition within an industry, helping to assess market attractiveness and profitability. The BCG matrix helps companies decide how to manage product portfolios based on market growth rate and market share. Meanwhile, the VRIO framework evaluates internal resources in terms of value, rarity, imitability, and organizational support. Each of these frameworks offers a unique lens. The best practice is to use SWOT alongside these tools for a more comprehensive strategy. For science and engineering professionals, combining frameworks enables more precise risk assessments, innovation planning, and competitive positioning. Common mistakes in SWOT. Several common mistakes can reduce the effectiveness of a SWOT analysis. One of the most frequent is being too vague, listing general traits instead of using specific data-backed statements. For instance, saying strong brand is less helpful than saying 90% brand recognition among target customers. Another error is confusing strengths with opportunities. Remember, strengths are internal and under your control, while opportunities are external and influenced by the environment. A third pitfall is ignoring context. A SWOT analysis must be tied to a specific objective, whether it's launching a product, entering a new market, or evaluating team performance. Treating SWOT as a one-time task is another issue. Conditions evolve, so the analysis should be revisited regularly. Finally, many teams fail to translate SWOT findings into concrete action plans. The value of SWOT lies in what you do with it. Insight without execution won't drive results. Avoiding these pitfalls ensures SWOT delivers strategic value. Tips for maximum impact. To maximize the impact of a SWOT analysis, start by using group input. Diverse perspectives from marketing, R&D, operations, and engineering lead to deeper insights and reduce blind spots. Visualization is also key. Using charts or quadrant matrices helps stakeholders easily grasp the relationships between strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Prioritize elements by impact. Don't treat all factors equally. Focus on what moves the needle. Revisit your SWOT regularly, especially in dynamic environments like technology and engineering. Conditions change fast, and your analysis needs to evolve accordingly. Finally, always integrate SWOT results into strategic plans. Let it guide where you invest resources, how you mitigate risks, and which innovations to pursue. When done right, SWOT becomes more than an academic tool. It becomes a dynamic part of your planning process, enabling better decisions across product design, project management, and organizational growth. Conclusion: SWOT as your strategic compass. SWOT analysis offers a powerful way to gain clarity, structure, and insight. It acts as a strategic compass, helping you assess internal strengths and weaknesses while monitoring external opportunities and threats. For science and engineering professionals, it bridges analytical thinking with strategic decision-making. Whether you're evaluating a prototype, considering a new role, or leading a cross-functional team, SWOT enables you to see clearly, within and beyond. It supports thoughtful risk-taking, enables proactive planning, and turns complexity into structured understanding. Most importantly, SWOT promotes action. The goal is not just to identify factors, but to make decisions that improve outcomes. Use it to ground decisions in evidence, remain agile as environments change, and align your work with larger goals. The best decisions often come not from having perfect data, but from seeing patterns and priorities with clarity. SWOT gives you that lens and helps guide you to sustainable success.